Marko here from Zagreb, Croatia. Some of you might know I'm Croatian. I was born in Croatia. So I'm going to talk about organized real estate, Croatia versus Canada. So in Canada, I've been in the real estate business as a realtor for the last 8 years. I've done over 600 transactions at this point in my career. So I have quite a bit of experience as to how things work back in Canada. Compared to Croatia, I've been doing a lot of investigating, and holy smokes, things are completely different here versus organized real estate in Canada. So let's start off with a few examples. For example, in Victoria, BC, Canada, where I primarily do most of my business, 95% of buyers engage a buyer's realtor to help them purchase a property. Here, less than 2% of buyers engage a buyer's realtor or agent to help them buy a property. Everything is sold through the listing agent for the most part. And second difference is in Canada we have an organized system database for listings, realtor.ca, and then the local boards have their own systems. Here in Croatia there's no such thing. Realtors simply don't cooperate. All the sales pretty much go through websites along the lines of Kijiji, Use Victoria, or Craigslist, for example, and then there's Croatian versions of these websites. So if you're a realtor or you are on a real estate agency, basically you take a listing and you put it up on one of these websites and you wait for buyers to phone, and buyers will phone you directly 98% of the time. There's also a bunch of other differences that make doing business here really difficult. For example, there's no MLS listing contracts where you're the only listing realtor. People typically list their homes with multiple realtors, multiple different agencies. There is no exclusivity in terms of the multiple listing contract. So basically, some people will have 3 or 4 agents, listing agents, selling the same property, and only the one that brings the buyer actually gets paid a commission. A number of other things. Buyers here try to circumnavigate the real estate brokerages all the time. So a lot of the ads you see online here in Croatia, people won't post the addresses until the day of the showing. A lot of logistical issues, and speaking with realtors here in Croatia, almost no seller gives you keys to the home. So when you're doing a showing, you have to arrange for the sellers to be present to provide the key. There's no lock boxes, listing agent. It's just super difficult. I know we think in Canada our job as realtors is difficult. Here it's like 10 times more difficult. So a lot of realtors here in Croatia have been asking me a key question: why do Canadians engage realtors to help them buy and sell homes? Because here people avoid them, and certainly buyers don't use a realtor. And I guess the number one answer is realtors in Canada have one key thing that they don't have here, and that's information through our MLS database systems. So if someone wants to sell a condo in a building, realtors have access to all the sales for the last 30 years, depending on the real estate board. Here in Croatia, you don't. There's no accurate information on what places are actually selling for. Most of the statistics are based off asking prices from online ads. So an individual doesn't really have much in terms of collecting information in terms of sale prices, historical data from a realtor. In Canada they do, and I think that's probably the number one reason why the consumer in Canada chooses to use a realtor. The realtors have excellent databases which a typical consumer cannot access on their own, and that's probably the first point of contact. Also, I feel like in Canada there's much more trust in the real estate industry. I mean, here no one gives their keys to realtors if they're selling a property. Quite interesting. So my takeaway conclusion is we have a pretty awesome system in Canada. I know we complain a lot, but the commissions are huge, the prices are high, especially in Victoria, Vancouver, and Toronto. And the job itself is probably 10 times easier than some other markets. That's it for this week. Marko, Juras.